Hey there, Charles Cherney. 3 regrets that some sellers may have. Number 3 on my list is some sellers may feel they have sold too soon. So you would think that if you list your home for sale, you have a game plan in place that will be acted on when it's time for you to move to wherever you're going. But believe it or not, some sellers do not have a very clear direction or plan in place for where they're going to land. And so they put their house on the market, and lo and behold, there's a buyer with an accepted offer right off the bat. And the seller is scrambling to figure out a solution as to where they're going to be in short order as the closing date for the sale event approaches. So, some sellers regret sometimes that they've sold too soon since they don't know where they're going. Now, you can mitigate this by having a plan in place and giving some due consideration to the prospect and possibility that the buyer emerges right off the bat. And in 4 to 6 weeks, you're going to need to be fully out of the house and be somewhere else. So again, it is a regret that some sellers have that they have sold too soon. Now, they may also feel that way with hindsight because after the sale event, it may be that the market's rising and values are increasing, and they feel that, gosh, if I had just waited, I could have sold for more. So again, the feeling of selling too soon can be informed not just by the logistics of moving out, but by hindsight, which of course no one has in the present, only after the passage of time looking back. And again, no one can time the market perfectly since no one knows the future. So the notion of selling too soon, remember, you can only make decisions in the present based on your needs and what you're seeking to accomplish and where you're going. So, one shouldn't, as a seller, imagine that anyone has the ability with a crystal ball to see where the market's going and if you ought to have waited. So that should be, something that you let go of if you're a seller and instead focus on, did you make the right decisions in the moment in terms of how you presented the house, how you priced it, and what the market was capable of at the moment you've listed? Look, we all understand that, hindsight can lead you to regret decisions you made in the past, but the best you can do is make informed decisions in the present. Another regret, number 2 on my list, that informs some sellers' mindset is they feel not that they've sold too soon, but they've sold too late. And in this regard, it may be that your neighbor came on the market and sold for a premium over asking. And so then you decide to jump on that bandwagon and list your house for sale, and you don't receive an offer equal to your neighbor's. And so you may feel that, well, I'm too late, right? I missed that buyer that bought my neighbor's house, who if I had listed sooner would have bought mine. Maybe, but then maybe not. Are you accounting for the premium renovation your neighbor did, right? So, and look, an outlier doesn't make for a market, right? There's always an outlier in the market that gets a lot of attention, whether it's that something sold for a little or a lot. But again, the market is informed by comparable sale events that likely paint a picture of what's truly possible at your address. So, it's not necessarily the case that an outlier equals you're selling for a premium. It's not. And then, the notion that, oh gosh, if I had, put my house on the market before interest rates went way up, I'd be in a much better position today than I would be had, I sold then and not had the challenge of selling now, right? So look, there's always something, right? It's inevitable that there'll be a world event or interest rates or inflation or the local economy. There's always factors at play that inform buyers' decisions, right? But that being said, there's always buyers in the market, right? So the common regret that some buyers have that they're too late, sellers have, that they're too late is probably not terribly accurate, right? At the end of the day, the market's always in flux, and there's various factors at play that inform decisions, right? So it's a regret that probably you should let go of and focus on what you can control and what you present to the market at this time if your house is for sale. And then the number 1 regret that many sellers have, and this is no surprise, is that they feel they sold their house for too little, right? Oh, if only I had timed the market better. If only I had priced my house differently. If only, there's all sorts of if onlys that lead a seller to feel that they didn't sell their house for what it's truly worth. Now, sellers will have a bias, of course, that their home is, extra special as it's their home and therefore is to be considered a home that should sell for a premium. But again, at the end of the day, if you're working with a reliable real estate agent with a deep sense of the market who understands the comparables and also understands, what best serves you in terms of time of year to list for sale and understands, the value of how your home presents, maybe you're going to have staging in place, painting, cleaning, tidy up the yard. Look, if you put your best foot forward, if the house presents beautifully, if it's been properly priced and calibrated based on recent relevant sales, and some thought has been given to the timing of when you make the offering, right? If all systems check at the point the home is offered for sale, it's going to be then that your best foot forward, the market will determine the market value, right? Again, it's not necessarily going to be true that you sold for too little, right? Yes, you do want to be smart about how you present your home and partner with an agent who can help you achieve success. But if you've done everything right and the market's responded to your listing, then it's not likely the case that you sold for too little. It's just that you feel that way. Or maybe you want more money in your pocket for your next purchase, and that's informing your mindset for having sold for too little. So look, these are 3 common seller regrets. Hopefully, if you're selling, you can avoid these feelings by making wise choices and approaching the sale with thought with regard to where you're moving, with thought to when you're listing for sale and for how much and how it presents, and working with a true professional to achieve success. If myself and my business partner can be of assistance to you as you aim to sell for the best price, in Cambridge or neighboring Somerville or one of the surrounding communities, be in touch by text, telephone, or email. We welcome the opportunity to partner with you and be a guide in getting these decisions as seller right to avoid these common regrets some sellers have. Be in touch. Take care.